As summer approaches, I've been wanting to switch up my EDC for something more lightweight and minimal because lighter clothes means less pockets, and my last EDC was quite bulky. So here's my lightweight EDC for 2026. So the first item I have is my smartphone, and that's the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. And this is already pretty light. It's a smartphone. We have to carry it with us every single day. Basically, every single person has a smartphone now. So it's already super lightweight. It has a lot of features and a lot of different things. Camera, it's got a calculator, it's got a phone, it's got a web browser. And like I said, it's already very lightweight, but I have it in this case. If I really wanted to make it more lightweight, I think I could take off the case and just use it by itself. Or if I really wanted to, I could switch over to the iPhone Air for a little bit more of a lightweight smartphone. But we all know that's not happening anytime soon. And yeah, even though this is the 9, not the 10, it doesn't have Pixel Snap, but I have a MagSafe case, so I can use MagSafe accessories with it. The main one I have is just a MagSafe stand. I have no MagSafe chargers or MagSafe power banks or battery packs. But yeah, this hasn't changed from my last video. I'm still using this, but I have been thinking of maybe eventually using iOS for a week or a month or as long as I can use it, because I've been basically using Android my entire life. And as much as I like saying I don't love iOS, I've never actually used it as my own personal device. But for now, we're sticking with the Google Pixel. So the next thing we have to have with us every single day is a wallet, because we need to have our IDs with us and also cards to pay for things and money. What most people have is a bifold wallet, and that's what I have. I have this very bulky bifold wallet from Ferragamo, and I love it. It's a gorgeous green color. I love the logo and the texture on the front. And this has 5 card slots on the inside here, but I have more than 5 cards in it actually. It has an ID window, and it's got these pockets here that I store some more cards in and also some cash. And then I have these ones here that I put bills in and receipts sometimes. So it can hold quite a lot of stuff, but it is super bulky. That's my first problem with it. And the second problem I have is sometimes I open it, and because the coins aren't secure, they just kind of fall out. And I have been considering downgrading to a leather card holder because I don't often carry cash. I have coins in my wallet, but I don't use them very often. All I really need are 3 or 4, like 3 to 5 cards in my wallet that I use quite frequently. So I've swapped from that bifold wallet to this now. And this is a minimal yet rugged aluminum wallet from PunCube. And full disclaimer, they did send me this free of charge, but they are not sponsoring this video and they did not pay me for this. So all of these are my genuine opinions. But as I said, I was looking into downsizing my wallet to either a smaller wallet or a card holder, and they reached out to me and offered to send me one. So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to try something different. First of all, the first thing you're going to notice is that this is super small and compact. It's much lighter and compact than my bifold wallet. You can just see from the dimensions. So this is obviously going to just sit in your pocket a lot better. One thing to consider though, this isn't an issue for me, but I've heard some people bring it up. Because this is a metal wallet, it's not as soft as a leather wallet, obviously. If you do put this in the same pocket as your smartphone, it can scratch your smartphone. I keep them in separate pockets, so that's why it's not an issue for me. But it's just something to keep in mind. But let's get into more of the wallet, because this is smaller, as I said, more compact than this one. So obviously it's gonna hold less than this one. Well, let's get into it. Firstly, you have 6 slots here for 6 different cards. You can have 6 flat cards like these ones, or you can have 5 embossed or engraved cards. That's just so the mechanism still works like smoothly after you load it up. And speaking of the mechanism, it's just super smooth and satisfying. And I honestly have started kind of using this as a fidget toy because it just feels that nice to kind of play around with it. This one also has the bifold module. I'll get more into the different modules later on, but it has a bifold module which has this little key slot here, which is good for holding a hotel key card or a tracker card. And I have this tile tracker, so I can just slot it in here and I can track the wallet. It also, since it's a bifold module, has this folding portion, which you can put like a bill in. I'd say maybe like 1 or 2 bills, and you can also put coins or other small things in there if you really need to. But if you do carry a lot of cash, you can, instead of using this bifold module, attach their money clip. And a money clip looks like this, and it kind of just sits on the back of it instead of the bifold module, so it contacts the metal directly. One nice thing about this is the adhesive they have here is not really an adhesive, it's a nano gel, and you can apparently wash and dry it. Not even just apparently, I was able to kind of coat it with flour and wash it, and it still was sticking on very nicely after that. If you want to take it off, you can just push it from the side and it comes off. And it's also super secure, so you're not going to have any issue with your bills falling out. I was able to fit up to 6 bills in there. That's all I had. I didn't try anything more. So, you could end up having more than 6 bills in there, but it also depends on how you fold it. It's a great wallet and I quite love it. They have a variety of styles and modules available for the wallets, and I love customizability and accessories, so this is quite amazing. So there's 3 different styles. There's the Wasteland, which is their most rugged one, and I believe their most popular one as well. There's the Horizon, which is kind of a super minimal one, and there's this one that I have, which is also quite minimal, but still has a little bit of texture on it. So I'd say this is a nice in-between. This is the Ripple, and this is my favorite of all of them. The mechanisms between them are also different, the sliding mechanisms. So for the Wasteland, you have a more tactile one with ball bearings inside that gives a nice clicky feel. And then the Horizon has a very smooth sliding and like gliding kind of feel to it. And this one has a very quiet one and has 3 magnets, so it has like 3 distinct positions that it can sit in. So even though it is quite quiet and not as loud as the Wasteland, you do have some amount of like tactile feedback through it. And as far as modules go, like I said, there's the bifold module, which is what I have. There's the money clip, and then they also have an AirTag holder, which is kind of like the bifold module, except instead of having a card slot here, there's an AirTag portion here, so you can put an AirTag there to track it. I would just advise getting this, and you can use this to either put a tracking card in here or a hotel key card or whatever, so it's a lot more flexible. And speaking of tracking cards, they have a tracking card themselves called the Sentry card. If you don't want to have a tile tracker, you could get their Sentry card, and this is, I believe, slightly thinner than the tile tracker, and it works with both Google and Apple Find My, so it stays within the ecosystem that you're already used to. So I think it's a great choice over this. I just had the tile tracker for my old wallet, and that's why I'm carrying it over into this one. And lastly, their last module is their MagSafe module, and this will sit here instead of this bifold module. You just screw it in and you can attach it to the back of your phone like this. MagSafe wallets aren't really my thing, so I kind of like that I can have this extra functionality instead. I've been super happy with it, and I'll have a link in the description if you want to grab one of these for yourself or one of the different variants or modules, and you can use my code SDV15 for 15% off your order. I'll have it in the description as well, so you can copy that. So the next thing is something else that hasn't really changed, so I'll kind of go quickly over it, and that's these, which are my glasses. They're just these old Versace clear frames that I've been using. I think I've had them for maybe two or 3 years. I've been using them, and I might be searching for new ones once I renew my prescription. So if you guys have any suggestions for, kind of styles or things that you think would suit me, just drop them down in the description. But until then, I'll just keep on using these. I do wish they were like slightly larger frames, but I do kind of like the clear translucent smoked look that they have. Oh, and yeah, I did have the Meta Ray Bans included as my ETC in the previous one, but I honestly haven't been using them that much anymore because even though I don't record with them, I mainly use them for audio. They have the camera, and if the LED is not on, people don't know if they're being recorded or not, because a lot of people have been kind of blacking that out or destroying the LED so they can record people discreetly. And I just kind of want to listen to music without having things in my ears. So I just kind of abandoned them for now. And next up is what I have on my wrist. And this here is the Moonswatch Mission to Earth Phase Moonshine Gold. I actually randomly got this in Dublin. I was walking around downtown Dublin and we came across the Swatch store. And I had seen this a few weeks back when I was in Canada. I saw ads for it, and I kind of looked into it, and I was like, oh, people are saying it's super hard to get because Moonswatches are super high in demand. So I kind of gave up on it at that point. Luckily for me, this was, I think, 3 or 4 days before the end date for this, because it was kind of a limited edition thing, and you could only get it when it's snowing in Switzerland. And that day, it happened to be snowing in Switzerland. So I walked into this watch store, and I kind of was just looking around. I was like, oh, wow, I wonder if they have this Moonswatch. I asked them, and they did have it. So I tried it on, I really liked it, and I got it. And I don't know what the stock was like here in Canada because I didn't go into any of the Swatch stores in the GTA or near me. But when I was in Dublin, the person before me got a moon swatch, and the person after me also got this same moon swatch. I do really like it, and it has three different complications. There's the earth phase, the moon phase, and it's got a chronograph as well, or is a chronograph as well. So it has stopwatch functionality too. I really like the design and colors. It's like blue and white. I don't know, feel like it goes with so many outfits. It is kind of a snow and winter themed watch. I think it'd be amazing for snowboarding and skiing. You know, it's just got snow themes on it, the snowflake, the snow on Snoopy's helmet. But because of how lightweight it is, that is going to be my summer watch. And it's made of a bioceramic, or plastic as the haters like to call it. And it's also a little bit controversial because it's an Omega and Swatch collab, and Swatch is kind of known to be a low-end brand while Omega is a pretty high-end brand. So people feel like Swatch is now devaluing their Omegas and Speedmasters. Who knows? There's also another collab with Swatch that was recently announced, and that's the Audemars Piguet and Swatch collab, the Royal Pop. And now the same sort of thing is happening where Royal Oak owners are crying because they think Swatch is going to devalue their Royal Oaks. I don't know. But yeah, here are my other watches. There's this Casio, I can't remember the reference number for this, but it has this really nice purple dial. It's quite a lightweight watch, and it does have a date window as well, so that's always a plus for me. It's made of stainless steel, so even though this is a lightweight watch, it's still a little bit heavier than the Moon Swatch. Then I have this one, which is a 45mm Tissot Sea Star, and this is like super heavy because it's a diver's watch, obviously, and it's stainless steel. So this has a date window, a chronograph, and it's got 3 dials. It's got this amazing, like, I guess that's a sunburst dial. I'm not sure if that's the right term. This was also a super cheap watch, but I really like this Casio. That's it for watches, and the Moon Swatch is going to be my lightweight watch of choice. So you might have noticed that I've switched now to traditional watches, and I've abandoned my Pixel watch. I do still occasionally wear it if I'm just going to be going out for a long drive to somewhere. I'll just put this on because I could still get like notifications and some stuff on it. So it's quite nice to have. In terms of activity tracking and sleep tracking, I don't really use it for that anymore. And instead, what I use is this, and that's the Aura Ring. The reason I use it is because it's much lighter and much more comfortable than having the Pixel watch on. And my main use for a smart wearable is sleep tracking. So having a watch on at night is not as comfortable as having this because this is super minimal and lightweight. And even though it does have less features, it still has activity tracking and sleep tracking. And the activity tracking is not going to be as good because it can get in the way for weightlifting and sort of things where you're going to have pressure on your hands. So a watch would still be better for that. But I do like it because it's super comfortable. I can wear it with traditional watches like this one. You know, double watching like this would be a little weird, or I guess if I did that, that would also be a little weird. So I can kind of just have this on, a traditional watch, and I still have activity tracking and sleep tracking, but I lose some features like the screen, obviously, in the display, notifications and stuff. But if you're curious, I do have a full review of the Oura Ring. You can click up here for that. Another option that I just recently was considering was the Google Fitbit Air. So this is Google's Whoop competitor. It's a smart wearable that has no display, so it's just like a fabric band or rubber band if you switch the band to a different one. And it's got the sensors and stuff there, so it's much more minimal, has longer battery life, but you still have the sleep tracking, activity tracking, and you also have things like alarms and I believe notifications as well. And it's only 100 USD or 130 CAD, so it's pretty cheap. And with that, you can kind of wear it with a traditional watch. I'm not sure if people wear it on the same wrist or if they just have opposing wrists. I think that would kind of be nice to just have it over here. So I'm kind of considering getting that and kind of trying it out and reviewing it. It is also lighter than the Pixel watch, obviously. So next thing is earbuds, because you have to have earbuds in 2026. So what I have are these, and they're the Pixel Buds Pro 2. They're great for taking calls or listening to music, and they do have slightly worse audio quality than the XM5s because those are actual headphones, but I still do like them. They're super compact and lightweight. They can just slip into your little I don't know, the coin pocket or whatever you call that in your pocket. It just slips into there and it can sit in there super nicely. And if you do need to take a call, or if you're going on a walk or on public transit and you need to listen to music or watch a video, you got these. I do have a full review for that as well. If you're curious, I'll have it linked up here as well. And now it's time for the honorable mentions. And these are just things that I do carry and aren't really significant. They're kind of like consumables in a way. And oh, the first one is this. And this is the La Roche-Posay Nutritic Lip Balm. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, this is quite honestly amazing. I got one maybe a year or two ago, and I recently just finished it. I actually got two back then. I ran out of this and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I just was like, okay, I'll settle for something else, like Nivea. It can't be that big of a difference. So I got this Nivea one, and honestly, it was quite a letdown. It feels like it's just always irritating my lips. I apply it and it just makes them more dry and just wasn't really working for me. So I had to go back and get this one, and I think I'll be sticking to this permanently. I do take my lip balms quite seriously, and the La Roche is much more hydrating than the Nivea one, which quite honestly has the opposite effect for me. And another thing that's super important for me is having fresh breath. So I have this 5 gum, and this is the cobalt or peppermint flavor. I honestly always have to have this. It's great to have after a meal. You get fresh breath, you can clean your teeth, and I do kind of prefer these to mints, so this is what I have most of the time. I do still have mints if I don't have these, but they're like a second option for me. And lastly, you might notice that I don't have a backpack or bag of any sorts. And that's the whole point for this. This is a lightweight and minimal EDC that I can have in my pockets. I don't have to carry anything additional. And obviously there is some things that are missing. For example, it would be nice if I had a MagSafe power bank, because then I can kind of keep that on my phone and also fit it in my pockets. My other power bank is quite big, but it's a 10,000 milliamp hour Anker power bank. But if I had a MagSafe one, I can just stick it to the back of my phone, no cables, super lightweight, super minimal. And even though I don't have a backpack, I have been trying to find a kind of small side bag that's also fashionable but practical. And the search has been really hard for me. So if you have any suggestions for that, I will greatly appreciate them. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And I think I fully covered this EDC. And if I missed anything, I'll make sure to drop it down in the comments or in the description. And let me know what you think about my EDC and whether or not you'll be switching to a lighter EDC for the summer. And just a reminder, if you do want to get anything from PunCube, I'll have a link in the description where you can get this Ripple wallet that I have, or any of the other designs or modules as well. And you can use my code SDV15 for 15% off of your order. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and that's all. See you next time.